107. Okay? Miyun. Miyun is if a mother or brothers marry off a minor girl. Only a father can marry a daughter on a Torah level, even though she's just born, a newborn. But let's say the father already fully married off, then she was divorced. Even the father, now that he can marry, is purely rabbinical. So the mother and the brothers, or the father, after he's fully married and she's divorced, his rights to her, he no longer has rights over. It's purely rabbinical. For what reason? Just to watch over her, that she should not be molested. She should have a husband to watch over her, that she should not be molested. That's the reason. That's the idea behind the rabbinic marriage. But now, because it's only rabbinic and she's a minor, if she says, I want out. That's what she says. I don't want to be with the man any longer. That's sufficient. She doesn't need a get. The marriage is retroactively annulled as if she was never married to him. So if that's the case, she's permitted to marry a Kohen. Let's say now she becomes an adult. A Kohen can marry her. Because it's considered like she was never married. If the husband would give her a get, even as a minor, rabbinically she's disqualified. Right? The husband doesn't, let's say the husband wants to get rid of her. She's 10 years old. Yeah, he's had enough of her. She doesn't want to walk out. So he gives her a get. Once she receives a get, although it's only rabbinic marriage, but rabbinically, she's divorced, therefore a Kohen can't marry her. But if she's the one who walks out, which is called miyun, she says, I've had enough, then the marriage is annulled. It's as if she was never married to him. Now, she wants to marry a Kohen, she can marry a Kohen.
She gets the status
She's a Penuya. Penuya means a single woman. She's a single woman. As if she was a Jewish woman has relations with a Jewish man. What's the halacha? She's permitted to a Kohen, right? Even though they weren't married when they had relations with one another. Same thing here. It's the equivalent of that. So let's see. Beis Shammai omrim eimanin el arusos. Beis Shammai says the only one who can be mayin, meaning walk out on the marriage, that's only if the katana is an arusa. The marriage was never consummated. This is Beis Shammai. We'll see exactly. Beis Hillel omrim arusos unusos. No, even if she's an arusa or even fully married, if she chooses to walk out, she says, I've had enough, she's out. Beis Shammai says not. Beis Hillel says yes. Beis Shammai omrim bebal velo beyovam. Here, the only, let's say you have an arusa, who's what? Who's the husband. Husband marries her. She could walk out. What about if you have a yovam? Right? Let's say the yovam goes and he performs yivam. He has relations with her. And now he wants to walk out. She wants to go out. Can't walk out. Even though the basis for the connection to the surviving brother is the original husband, they only legislated miyun by the Baal, not by the Yovam. Beis Hillel bebal u'biyovam. No, by both. By Baal, she could walk out, even after Nisuin. Yovam also, it's not a problem. Beis Shammai omrim befonav, Beis Hillel befonav shelo befonav. She could only be mine in his presence. Let's say the man's overseas, and she goes to Bezdin and she says, I want out. According to Beis Shammai, it doesn't work. He has to be present. Beis Hillel says, befonav shelo befonav. Whether he's present, not present, she could walk out. She could annul the marriage. Shammai omrim bebezdin, Beis Hillel omrim bebezdin, shelo bebezdin. No. Beis Shammai says it has to be in the presence of a bezdin. Beis Hillel says, no, it doesn't have to be in there. And the Gemara says, even if you don't have 3 expert dayonim, 3 hedyotos, right? Hedyotos means non-certified dayonim. Also, Orma Beis Hillel Beis Shammai mema'enes v'ktano afil dal ve'pomim. Let's say Katana, she was married multiple times rabbinically. She could always walk out 4 or 5 times. As often as she gets married, she could walk out on the marriage. Omer Beis Shammai in Benos Yisrael hefker. No, those who can behave like as if it's hefker. Elo me'enes u'mamtenes ha'shetaglu timor v'tinosei. She can only be mine once, and she waits until she's an adult at Timoin. So now it's a question. It seems to be the Mishnah is saying she's meme'enes, she's memayin as a minor, and she waits till becomes an adult, but Timoin, and then she's memayin, and then she could get married. That means miyunus twice. Beis Shammai just said only once. The Gemara will address this. Amar Rabbi Yudam Shmuel, my Talmud Beis Shammai. Why does Beis Shammai say that miyun is only after Ersin and not after Nisuin? Right? What's the reason? Lefishein Tanai ben Nesuin. We had this earlier. Remember, we had if a person would, let's say, initially made a precondition before he marries a woman, and then afterwards he consummates the marriage, and he finds out it's a problem. Since we say Einod Bo Bilos Abilos Nus, so the condition is waived. So it's the same idea. Lefishein Tanai ben Nesuin. So what's the problem? You know what people are going to say? Bisham is concerned if a person walks out, if a minor is able to walk out after Nesuin without a get, what are people going to say? Who is the get? You know what people are going to say? People are going to say it was a preconditioned marriage, and therefore the husband didn't meet the condition, therefore the marriage was annulled. Right? But if you say, Ein Tanai ben Nesuin by an adult, so people say, but you see, it does work. So they're going to apply it even to an adult, and there it's going to be a disaster because factually, we hold Ein Tanai ben Nesuin. It's that people who confuse the marriage of the minor with the marriage of an adult. Just as the minor after the Nesuin walked out without a get, it must be because there was a Tanai. So an adult could also walk out because when there's a Tanai, which is not the case. Somebody asks, so what about she entered into chuppah, but he never consummated the marriage? Right? Let's say it's at the wedding, under the chuppah, the girl says, I don't want to be with you. Right? I see the way you're behaving at the wedding. You're a semi-alcoholic. I want out. Right? They never got together. So, equal meimar. And that was the fishein tonight b'chuppah. Because we have a principle, one cannot have a chuppah which is preconditional. So people, Moses, and what happened? Moses of the shluch abal mikol meimar. What about if the father gave over his daughter to the agents of the husband, which is the equivalent? Also, they were never married. The marriage was never consummated. Lo plug rabbanon. The Chacham don't differentiate. Once a woman is called a Nesua, we don't differentiate whether it had relations, didn't have relations. It will be confused with a case of an adult, and that becomes the problem. An adult, if it's consummated, Tanai doesn't help. So if we were going to say the minor is able to walk out after Nesuin, people will confuse the two, which they're not comparable. Basil made the Yadi Nesui Katana Drabonin. Basil says, I disagree. Everybody knows the reason why a minor could walk out after Nesuin, not because it's a Tanai, because it's purely rabbinical. It's a rabbinical marriage, therefore the marriage could be annulled. But an adult marriage, which a marriage is a Doraisa, it's a Torah marriage, then what? Unless they have a get, you can't walk out. So people will not compare the rabbinic marriage to the Torah marriage. Right, correct. Nobody argues that. What? Not doing, correct. Or the brothers, correct. The husband has to give her a get. It's a Torah marriage. She needs a regular get, like two people married who are adults. They need a get. Okay. So Basil says no. There will be no confusion. Why? Basil made the yadi the sui ketana drabonon. No. They know it's only rabbinical. That's why a woman could be mamayin even after nesuin. Rabbi of Yois Tamer Tavayu. Rabbi Rav says give another reason. Tamer beishamai l'fisha eno dem osa bilosa bilos nus. Yeah. The reason why Beishamai says, let's say they annul the marriage retroactively. So it comes out he's married to how? So what about all the sexual relations they had? It's a bias nus. If a person's married to a woman within that context, it's called a bias mitzvah. It's within the context of mitzvah. But if we're going to allow it to be annulled after the suit, that means retroactively they were never married. So all the sexual relations they have, what is it? It's nus because they were never married. So therefore, that's the reason why Shammai says after the su'in, she can't be mine any longer. Because what is the consequence of miyun? When she says, I don't want to be with you, it's retroactive. But if they already had relations, it's going to cause the bia to be as bias nus, and a person doesn't want his bia, should be a bias nus. Therefore, after the su'in, it doesn't work. So it's the same question. So what if she entered into chuppah? They didn't have relations. So over there it should work, right? Because there's no bias nus. We should annul it retroactively. Because it looks like chuppah d'isura. It's a chuppah that he wasn't permitted her. Because chuppah means she came into his domain. What about Mosa of the Shluchi Abal, Meikel Meimar? Over there's no chuppah isura. They never got together, even though they didn't. Marissa, so what about if the agents of the father gave it over to the agents of the husband? Lo plug rabbonim. Yeah, we don't differentiate. We don't. So Marissa is Beisilel, Kevin the Kedushin Uchsuba Lo Osi Lemei Bilos Bilos Nus. it's not going to look like she was defiled. Since it was when he had relations with her, factually, after she's mine, he has to pay a ksuba. Right? No, initially there was kedushin, and there was ksuba. Ksuba was written originally. So therefore, even though it's an old retroactively, it's not going to look like a biznus. A man doesn't want to, it should be like he lived with the woman out of wedlock. No, since initially when he lived with her, everything was done right. There was marriage, and there was ksuba, there was everything. Even though ladies can be annulled, a person doesn't feel it was a biznus. Even though retroactively, the marriage was not a marriage. Rav Papa Omar, Talmud Shammai, new reason. So we have so far two reasons why Beishamai holds that miyun doesn't work by the suin. Two reasons. Rav Papa offers a third reason. Talmud Beishamai Shumperi, because what's going to be? He's going to eat. A husband has a right to the fruits of the of the wife. So if he's going to be fully married, retroactively it's going to be what's going to happen, right? Talmud Beisilo Mishum Peri. What does that mean? Each one says Mishum Peri. Talmud Beishamai Mishum Peri. The Yamad Nesuin. Yeah. So if you're going to say a Nesuin, you know what he's going to do? Timoin. If you can say Nesuin, you know what he's going to do? Shomit v'ochelu mino. The sof l'mevekaimo. Probably it's almost inevitable she's going to walk out on him. So she's going to be married, fully married. What he's going to do? He'll consume all the produce because he realizes tomorrow she may walk out. So he's going to try to grab as much as he can. Beisil adrab just the apkevidomber timoin ashbuchim mashbachlu. Sovadi lo aitzi lo krove kreve aitzi lo krove umafkul mina. He says, you know something. Why is she going to walk out? Evidently, because she doesn't feel she's being treated well. What about if he goes and he invests in her properties, in her vineyards, in her groves, in her fields? So her relatives are going to what? They're going to say, stay with the man. He's a good husband. He's increasing the value of your properties. Since he knows that she could walk out on him, that's more of a reason for him to invest in her properties. But if not, you know what people, the relatives are going to say, walk out on the man. So that will encourage him. He's going to behave himself because otherwise the marriage is over tomorrow. Rabba Mahainu Talmudei Shammai, another fourth reason. Because it's not right. A man makes a wedding, and then all of a sudden the whole wedding is gone. She walks out on tomorrow. So that means all the investment, the cost factor to make a wedding was wasted. So because we don't want her to waste all what he covered, all his expenses, therefore we say once you go to marriage, you can't walk out. Beis Hillel, Tavayr Nechelu. Yeah? It's worthwhile. Why? A woman who's called a married woman who was never married before, she doesn't have the same attraction. A woman who was called married, and he was married, he was a husband, she was a wife, so it's worthwhile to have the wedding for that alone. Right? Even though it's going to be retroactively annulled, but since they went through the expense of marriage, it was within marriage. Beishamai Omri Bebal. Beishamai says Mian only works for the husband, right? A woman is married, arusa to a husband, she can walk out on him. What about by the Yavam? She can't walk out on the Yavam. If the Yavam goes and consummates, does the Ibum not? Amr Aboshio. Yeah? She could be mine. Let's say the Yavam goes and he does Kedushin with her. So he says, just as the Ketana can be mine if she's Narusa, she could walk out. So if the Yavam, what's the connection? The connection is the Zika. Right? That's why, so if there's a Zika, Hamiyun doesn't terminate the Zika, the connection. Rabbinic, it's a rabbinic connection. But let's say he goes and he marries her. We discussed it earlier, which right? By regular Yavam, Maimer is a Drabonon. So let's say she's Mamayan on that rabbinic marriage of Maimer, of the Yavam. Right? So he says, Raboshi says, if the Yavam goes and does Kedushin with her, she could annul that. So eventually, well, let's say gives a chalitza, she doesn't need a get. She doesn't need a rabbinic get. What's the reason? If he does mind it, I mean, she had to be agreeable to it. So that's like the original marriage. So because she agreed to it, she could annul it by saying, I don't want to be here. Zika the Malkorcha, but the Zika which came upon against her will, why? Because it's as a result of what? Of the first husband, Lomatzi Okro. Somebody says, what do you mean? Harei Bia? The Malkorcha? When he has relations with her? Umatzia Okro. Right? We see that according to Beis Hillel, that if she does, what's his name? If he goes and does Yibum, she could walk out on him. It's Balkorcha, the B is Balkorcha. According to Beis Hillel, Beis Hillel says, right, it's Balkorcha. We're saying originally marriage and the Suan, it's because she agrees to it, so as she agrees, she could walk out. But Yibum, which is Balkorcha, so but Beis Hillel says even Yibum, which is Balkorcha, she could walk out. Beis Hillel doesn't differentiate. Right? The Suan, she could walk out. She said the Suan maybe because she agreed to marry him. So because she agreed, she could walk out. But what about for the Yovam? If we're saying there's a Zika, she needs either Chalitza or she needs Bia. So Bia's also about Korcha. And Beis Hillel says that even by the Yovam, she can. It's about Korcha. Right? Ela Bia, she says, Gemara Che, Ela Bia Maimer, do Havi, Ko'ovid, Machio, Okra. He says, Maimer and Bia, which he does, even though it's Malkorcha, that she can uproot. Zika the Rachmon Ramalei. What Zika? Zika the Torah puts the Zika. Lo Motzi Okro. That's the position of Raboshia. Raboshia holds Zika, what's his name? Maimer she could uproot, because he did that. And what? And Bia, also he did that. But Zika, you can't. That's Raboshia. No. Let's say she was married to the man, he dies. Now there's Zika. Everybody agrees she has to have chalitza to get out. Beis Hillel, Beis Shammai. Even though she's a minor, he has to give a chalitza. Even though it's a rabbinic marriage. She cannot break Zika with Miyun. She can't walk out on Zika. If she's married to the first husband, she wants to walk out on him, fine. She can walk out on him. According to Beis Hillel too, whether you have Kedushin, Nesuin, she walks out. But once he dies, you have to have Chalitza. If the surviving brother consummates it, she can walk out on him. But if there's only, she can. Beis Hillel, she can. But if the Zika Nazis, why? Because the other two, he does. He did the Bia, he did the what, he did the Maimer. But here, why is there a connection to them? The Torah made the connection. That's Raboshia. Therefore, if she wants to walk out when there's a Zika, she cannot terminate the Zika. Ula disagrees. Ula mamenes havli zikoso. Ula says she could even terminate the Zika with her Mian. Why? Because why is she connected to the surviving brother? Because of the first brother. Right. So if retroactively she knows the first marriage, there's no connection. That's Ula. Ula mamenes havli zikoso. Why? My timer. What's the reason? The sui kamoi ka'okra, because she goes and nullifies the first marriage to the brother who died. If it goes that far back, so what? So there's no yibum to the second brother. That's Ula's rationale. Eisiv Rova the Ula, so Rova asks Kasher Ula. It says, Koshi chol lemoyim lo mira tzarosa choletz lom siabemis. A woman who could walk out on a marriage, and she didn't, the tzaros choletz lom siabemis. Give it a case. A man is married to a woman, okay? A man, he has a surviving brother. He has a brother, and now his brother marries his niece. So the niece is the daughter of his brother. Now he dies. And the daughter is only rabbinic marriage. Right? Because the father, she was fully married and she divorced her. Even the father cannot marry her off. Because the father could only marry off the daughter if she only once. Let's say he marries her fully, and then afterwards she left his domain, then the husband divorces her. So now he wants to marry her off again, the father. Now when the father marries, it's only a rabbinic marriage. Even the father. So it's speaking like this. How about his brother goes and marries, is married, he has a wife. Now he marries his niece, rabbinically. Yep. He marries it rabbinically. Now he dies. Minor. Okay, minor, he dies. And now, so you have two women falling to Yibum, to the surviving brother. But you know what the problem is? One is his daughter, and one is a co-wife. It's Soros Abbas. It's Soros Erva. It's a co-wife of a woman that he's not permitted to. But the marriage to the daughter is only rabbinical. the only one he's not. The father's not permitted to his daughter, right? And now there's a co-wife. So if the co-wife takes on the same status as the daughter, they need nothing. But since the marriage to the daughter is only rabbinical, so rabbinically we say you have to give chalitza, not yibum. On a Torah level, you can even give yibum because he's not married to the daughter, to his niece, right? But since the way it appears he is married rabbinically, therefore we say choletzes lo mesyabemis. She gets chalitza, not yibum. The co-wife, okay? That's what it says. Nothing. It's his daughter. It's not even the question. She needs nothing. It's his daughter. The daughter needs nothing. Someone asks, says, why do we say that to the co-wife you only leave chalitz not yibum? According to Ula, that when you even after the death of the first husband, you know that marriage therefore can even terminate zika. Let the daughter be memayin. The daughter be memayin. And as a result of that, the marriage to her uncle is gone. So therefore, this co-wife was never the co-wife of the daughter. And now the father will be able to perform yibum on a Torah level. You have a question? It's not complicated. According to Ula, that we say that miyun terminates zika. How does it terminate zika? Because we say, because it knows the first marriage, so therefore there's no connection to the surviving brother. So it says, if a man is married to a woman and his niece, rabbinically to the niece, and now he dies, and then there's the father, it says the co-wife needs chalitza, not yibum. So we're asked, the bezdin should tell the daughter, be memayin, even though your husband's no longer alive now. That will terminate the zika between you and the what? That will terminate the marriage to your husband who's deceased, retroactively. And now your father be able to perform yibum with the co-wife. Why do we say that? So evidently, what do we see from there? That rabbinically, miyun could only terminate marriage, but not zika. That's what you see from here, right? No. Yes, co-wife is, so what? It's yibum, but it's yibum. He died childless. His brother died childless. Yeah, it's the whole situation here, right? So it says, "V'may timoin hashto." Let the daughter do miyun today, v'takrinu l'nusui kamoi, and then she'll nullify her marriage, v'tisyabim tzaroso, that he can marry the co-wife, because she's not a co-wife, she's the only wife. Right? So what okay. According to Raboshi, it's not a problem because chalitza, because miyun only affects marriage and not zika. But according to Ula, it affects even zika, right? So let her be mine. On that, the Gemara says no. Tzoros erva shayni. That since, as we'll see in a moment, tzoros erva shayni, since factually before she was mine, she fell to yibum, right? Okay. Why did she fall to yibum? So the way it's perceived in the public, she fell to yibum because what, she was married to the husband. Right. Once it's seen as that, she's seen as a tzoros erva. I mean, a co-wife of a woman who's not permitted to the surviving brother. So therefore, that's the reason why, even though she could annul the zika, but since the perception is when the husband died, she fell to yibum, right? Shining, shining. Dutani Rabbi Baruch Yecheskel. Listen to this. What happens if a man, let's say a brother goes and has relations with a woman, and then afterwards his brother wants to marry that woman? Is he permitted? They were never married. Yes, they're permitted, right? So, miyano bebal, a woman's married to a man, and then she walks out on him. Is her ex-husband's brother permitted to marry her? Yes, right? Because it's if he was never, because she's mine, she was never married to him. It says, miyano bebal muteris la'aviv. Yeah. What about if a man is married to a woman rabbinically, and then afterwards the minor walks out on him? His father is permitted to marry his ex-wife, which should be kaloso, his daughter-in-law, because retroactively he was married to her. It's like a man his son had relations with a woman, and now the father wants to marry the woman. He's permitted to marry the woman, because the son was never married to her. So here also it says, Mina bebal, if she walks out on the husband, muteres la'aviv, she's permitted to her original father-in-law. even though today it's not a father-in-law. Because when she was a mine, the original marriage was annulled. But what happens if the husband died, the son of this man died, and after he died, she did miyun, so now the marriages are annulled retroactively. Asur loviv. Now he's not permitted. Why? Because when she fell to Yibum initially. So since it's perceived she fell to Yibum, therefore, Alma, B'shas Nefila, nearest Kaloso, since when he died, she was classified as the daughter-in-law. That was the perception. Ochanam B'shas Nefila, nearest Soros Bito. Therefore, in both cases, although it terminates Zika, but in a context of Erva, rabbinically, we don't allow it. Okay? Omarav. Mi'eno bazeh asur lezeh. What about, you have 6 brothers. No, we ruled, we rule like Beis Hillel. We rule like Beis Hillel. Yeah, they were married for 4 years. Right? Does it make a difference? No, she could do miyun. She could do miyun. Sure. Also, no, Ula says she could do miyun. Ula says that. Ula terminates the zika. Raboshia says no, but Ula says yes. Only in the context of erva you can't. Which means it was a daughter-in-law or was a daughter, right? Okay, look, now it says the interesting shaila here. You have 6 brothers. What happens if one brother gives chalitza? Could the other brothers marry or no? Because he terminated it, right? What about if one of the brothers gives her a get? Gives her a get. No. He never married her, but there was zika to all 6 brothers. One gives a get. The other brothers can't give Yibum any longer. Rabbinically. It's rabbinical. Because he terminated it, right? One brother was connected. So let's say now... No, the chalitza you have to give. You have to give chalitza. But he never did Yibum. Let's say same case, but she was a minor. She says, brother A, I don't want to... I'm in mind from brother A. But the other ones I'm interested in. Right? Do we say that since the miyun nullifies the original marriage, she's not connected to any of the brothers? Or do we say, no, that since the whole thing's rabbinical, so you can play with it a little bit. Regarding the first brother, she was never married, but regarding the other brother, she's married. So the other brothers could do Yibum. Right? That's the shayla. Mino bezeh asur lezeh. Right? If she was mamaying from one, she's forbidden to the other brothers. Why? Midi dehave abalas get. She's no different a woman receiving a get. She receives a get from one brother, the other brothers can't do Yibum. Balas a get, lav, came with the Yitzur alei, lechad, Yitzur lulukula. Just as she becomes forbidden to what? To him. Once he gives a get, he can't do Yibum any longer. So she's forbidden to the other husband, to the other brothers too. Same thing here. Once she does miyun, that means there's no connection with her and that brother. Right? Well, we'll see. Shmuel Omar, Mina Bezeh Muteres Lezeh. If she's mine to one, she's permitted to the others. The other ones can do Yibum. Why? What about the get? Lo damil balas get. Balas get, who the COVID bo? Who the COVID bo? Hochi the COVID bay. When the brother gives a get, surviving brother, he did something. He's connected to her. He did an overt act to connect. He treated her like his wife. Here, she's the one who took the initiative. She said, I don't want to know the man. He never did anything. So what connected him to her? When he gave the Yevama the get, that means he acted as if she was his wife. So once she acted as if it's his wife, therefore she's off limits to the other brothers. But over here, she said to one of them, I don't want to know you. He never connected to her. So if he never connected to her, and she said, I don't want to know you, she's not connected to A, but she still could be connected to the others. That's what Shmuel wants to say. Right? Hocha. He the of the bay, the Amra. What did she say? Lo re'ina boch. Lo tzavina boch. Hud lo re'ina boch. Bechavrach re'ina. I have no interest in you. I don't want to be connected to you, but I want to be connected to your brothers. Ravasi Omar. Yeah, Ravasi says, Miro bezeh muteres afil lo. If she walks out, even she says, I don't want to be with you as a Yevama. And then afterwards, he wants to marry her. Even that person could marry her. Why? Because if he was never married to the original brother, right? So if that's the case, he's even permitted to her. He's permitted even to him. Lema, Kureboshia, Svirale. Seemingly, Mino Bezeh Muteres Afilu Lo. Chega. Should be permitted even to him. Let us say he holds like Reboshia. Dome Edom Manis Lizikoso. Bechad Yovam. No, which means, evidently you hold a manis afilu lo muteres bezeh muteres afilu lo. Why? Because it's as if the whole marriage is gone. So, like Raboshu said, Edom manis lizikoso b'chad yovam. Hachanamatzi okra hocha b'shnei yovam kaskinon dein miun lechatzi ziko. He's making a differentiate. Nami lo hodelo v'chosh came to Raboshu the Rabbi Yochanan dafka la'achan omav lo lo. Yeah. Let's say I have one brother. One brother. So one brother, you could say, you can't terminate. You could terminate, but if they're multiple brothers, no, which means like this, excuse me. We said, Reb says if you have one Yovam, she can't say, terminate the Zika. No, you can't, because the moment you nullify the marriage, no, that's it. If you were married to the deceased, how could you be married to the other ones? How could that means the zika is to the other brothers, not to the first brother. Right. But if you terminated the marriage, how do you can't have zika to anybody?
Right. Good.
Let's gently read this inside. There we go. Vazio Miro Vazim Uteresa Filo. One second. I feel yeah. Then Rosh Virlay Doma. Achnam Masi Okra Hocha B'Shnei right. Ki also Ravin Omer Reb Yochanan. Miro Bezer Muteris Lachin. Here, it was Ravin came. He said, Reb Yochanan, if she's meon to one, she's permitted to the other brothers. Lahodolo. They didn't agree to him. Man Lahodolo. Who didn't agree to Reb Yochanan? Rabbi Rav didn't agree, because Rav said before that what Mina Bezasur Lezer. He said if she's mine to one brother, the other brothers cannot do Yibum.
So you're saying that
right? No, so Rabbi Yochanan says she's permitted to the other brothers.
Right.
So it says, but they didn't agree. Who didn't concur with Rabbi Yochanan? Right? It says Rav Amar Reboshia. Reboshia, why? Because the pshat is because there's no mean for Zika. Mm-hmm. That's the reason. Vamilo Ravasi. What could be Ravasi? 1 second. Namilo Hodov. The Kosh came Ravoshi Rabbi Yochanan Dafka Lachnam V'Lolo. Right? Because Rabbi Yochanan Ravasi says she's even permitted to him. Rabbi Yochanan says no, she's permitted to the brothers, not to him. Not to him. Okay, let's go further. Beishamai Oshim before Ravashi says, Beishamai says, Miyun has to be in the presence of the husband. If he's not around, she can't go to Bezdin and say, I'm not interested in being with him. Right? That's Beishamai in the Mishnah. Beisil says, whether he's here or not, she goes to the court, says, I'm not interested in being with the man any longer, the marriage is over. Even though it's not in his presence.
What came to mind was Shaliach. So in other words, you can't do it via
You don't need a shliach. With no shliach.
But you can do it for marriage, you can do it for get, but you can't do it here.
It's easier. What do you mean? The fun of there is a shliach. Miyun means does she have to say in the presence of her husband? The guy doesn't know, no shliach, nothing.
So it's like chalitza, that you have to do it in front of the person.
No, it's better than no. Okay, called. Then it's not the same thing. Beis Shammai says she has to say in the front of the husband, I don't want to be with you. That's all. Beis Hillel says whether she says that he's there, not there, it's over the marriage. Just by saying, I don't want to be with my husband any longer. Okay, it's over. Amalo Beis Shammai. Okay? Amalan Beis Hillel, Mishnah says, Tanya, Amalan Beis Hillel, Beis Shammai, lo Pishon Hagomel. Whoever Pishon, he was a camel driver. Mini Ishto Shlo Befonov. It was known, his wife walked out on him, he wasn't around. He was on a trip, on somewhere, who knows what. Because he misbehaved, therefore they annulled they allowed the annulment to go through, even though it wasn't his presence. Meaning he abused the relationship. What did he do? What did he do? He went and he ate Paris. He had no right to the fruits of his wife, and he ate the fruits. What do you mean? But he was married. What do you mean? What do you mean he ate the fruits? That she had to be Nesua? But Beis Shammai says she can't walk out after Nesuin. On that, the Gemara says Trei Kitri of the Bay. They did two things. Normally, Beis Shammai says you can't do a shlo b'fonav. Normally, Beis Shammai says after Nesuin you can't walk out. But because this man abused the relationship, they said this is the exception. You're able to walk out not in his presence, and you're able to walk out even after Nesuin. Of course, this is an unusual case. Okay? How does he explain over there at Kfuso? He abused it. What does he say? Yeah. Yeah, that's what he did. So because he acted this way, so we treated him the way he deserves to be treated. Beis Shammai b'fnei bezdin. Beis Shammai says the miyun has to be in presence of the court. Bezdin. Tanan hosam chalitza v'miyun b'shlosha. Says the Mishnah says in the beginning of Sanhedrin that chalitza and miyun has to be in presence of three. Okay, one. So man tana. So who's the tana of that Mishnah? Omer Rabba Beis Shammai. Because it must be Shammai. Because Beis Shammai says it has to be fnei dayonim. Abayom no afil tim Beis Hillel. The Mishnah in Sanhedrin go even by Beis Hillel. How? Ad kan lo kan Beis Shammai Beis Hillel elo lo bina mumchin. You don't have to have certified dayanim. That's what you don't need. Avo shlosha binon. 3 dayanim you do need. Beis Hillel agrees you need 3. The argument is Beis Shammai says you need 3 certified dayanim, like chalitza. Beis Hillel says no. Kidetanya. Beis Shammai omrim b'fnei bezdin, uBeis Hillel omrim b'fnei bezdin, shlo b'fnei bezdin. But they both concur. Shetzarach shlosha. Even Beis Hillel agrees you have to have 3. They don't have to have that special ordination. Rav Yossi, Rav Yehuda, Rav Elazar, Rav Shimon, Rav Yossi, Machshirim b'shnayim. You don't even 3. Other Tanoim, they said 2 is enough. So Tosfos says 1 need 2 because you have to have witnesses that there was miyun. Otherwise, how do you know she walked out? Omer Rav Yossi bar Miyumi, Omer Rav Nachman Aloch Yossi. So if we rule like that pair, that what? That 2 is sufficient. You don't need 3. Okay? We don't rule this way. Even though he says we rule this way, we don't rule this way. Yeah. Beis Shammai omrim timoin. It says the Mishnah, Rabbi Shammai says, she's mine, and you wait till she becomes adult, and a second time. So for miyono charazina, she ready to what do you mean? She should be mine, then she'll get married. She was mine. It says she walks out, and you wait till she becomes an adult, then she gets married. Then she's mine, and she gets married. What do you mean then she refuses again? She already was mine, right? So the Gemara says, what he means to say is, she's mine after Ersin, and then when she becomes an adult, she says, what I said then, when I was a minor, I meant what I said. I meant what I said. The mission's talking about two separate things. She walks out, and then v'tagdil v'tioris, and when she becomes an adult, she gets married, because the first man was no. Oshet v'tinosi la'alter. What's Tamoyin? Tamoyin, she can get married immediately as a minor. According to the means, that's what it says. She's mine until she becomes adult. Vitinose. And there's a second thing. And also, she's mine if she get married. El Lishmuel achetagdil v'tomar mi boylei. It should say. According to Shmuel, it should say until she becomes adult. And she says, what I did, it's not utamayin. It's not a second time a miyun. The first miyun that I made when I meant what I said. Okay? But it doesn't say that in the Mishnah. This is v'tamayin. You hear? Shmuel had said that it means she's mine when she's a child, and then we wait till she becomes an adult, and then she says, what I said then, I meant. That's Shmuel's, the way he's interpreting the Mishnah. So Mara says, if that's the case, it should say, she's mine when she's mine, wait till she becomes adult, and she says, it doesn't say v'tomar. It says utamayin. Seems to be a new miyun. Right? According to the way Ula's learning, no, she has a choice. Either she's mine, she walks out, or she's mine and gets married. Even a full marriage as a minor. Who's a katana that she has to be mine? When do you mean meal? If she agreed to the marriage. It's a rabbinical marriage, but she agreed to it. What about if they went and married? They represented her, married her even without consulting with her? She needs nothing. It was never a marriage. Rabbinically, it was never married. Rab Chanina ben Tignas Omer Kol Tinoka Shenichol Lishmo Kiddusheo, and it's a minor who's so immature that she doesn't even know she's married. The marriage is not a marriage. Not a marriage. You marry off a 2-year-old girl. Does she know she's married? Right? She has no idea. Rab Lezer Omer Imasa Ketana Klum Elokim Futa. Rab Lezer says that a minor who's married rabbinically, it means nothing. We'll see in a moment. She's like a woman who's seduced. So what's the halacha? Bas Yisrael l'kohen. If she's a Bas Yisrael marries a kohen, lo sochel b'truma. She's not permitted to eat truma, which is even. What about kohen l'Yisrael? Tochel b'truma. If she's married rabbinically to the Yisrael, she shouldn't be able to eat truma. No. But if we're saying the marriage has no value whatsoever, she can continue. Let's say a Bas Kohen is having a relationship at a marriage with a Yisrael. Is she permitted to continue to eat truma? She's permitted.
Why?
They're not married. It's the same thing. A rabbinic marriage to a minor, it's like they're not married. So if she's a Bas Kohen, she can continue eating truma. Wherever she is. Her husband's not permitted to eat. She's a Bas Kohen. She's a Bas Kohen. If something which it's from his initiative, the one will explain, then we see him like the wife. Something which is unrelated to the husband, then we see she's not his wife. Originally, they would write in the document to prove when she wanted to get married, as an adult, she would have a document saying that she had miyun. She refused, right? So the Bezdin writes. Now, what's the text of that document? They would write in the document, Lo re'ina bei, lo tzavina bei, v'lesno bai lisnasvale. I don't want to be with him. I have no interest in him, and I don't want to be married to him. That's what they wrote into it. When she's a minor. Well, if she wants to get married again, when she's a minor, she has to present that document, right? Or if she has to present document, she got it when she was a minor, she present when she's an adult, that she's no longer connected to that original man when she was a minor. But it's pretty wordy. This document has a lot of statements in it. You know, people confuse it with a regular get. People think, that's the text of a get. So if a sofer is not really an expert, he's totally amoritz, he'll use that text for a get, and you're going to be permitting an Eish Ish to get married. Came the chozad novish dibura. They saw it's too lengthy. Amri osel chlufi begito. This may be confused with regular get, and Rashi says a sofer is a boor. He's an ignoramus. He'll use the text of this. What's his name? Shtar miun. He'll use it for regular get. So tkinu hochi. So they said, you know what? You're writing a get miun. B'yom ploni on such a day. Mira plonis mas ploni ban pona. On such and such a day, this woman, she refused to be with him. That's it. That's all. Nothing more than that. Not all this wordy language. No, it's going to have it. No, the court will have it, but we're concerned that if a scribe who's an amoritz will see this, if it's a regular, it's a wordy damper, they'll say, you know, you can use this for regular divorce also. You have two witnesses on it. No, we rule you need three. No, you have three. You do have three. No, but you don't have to have certified dayanim. Taner Rabbanan, what's miyun? Is a miyun initially? Omra efshi beploni bali. I don't want to be with him. Oh, efshi bekedushin. Or she uses the term. I don't want the kedushin to be shekitshuni. Excuse me. Efshi bekedushin shekitshuni imivochi. I don't want to be the kedushin that my mother or brothers married me off with. That's miyun. Yes, al kein Omer Rav Yehuda afilu yoshin ba'am pirun. You hear this? She's sitting like in a canopied location. Voleches mi beis ovio lebeis bailo, and she's being taken from her father's house to her husband's house, like for Nesuin v'omro. And on the way, she says, "Yevshi beploni bali." I don't want to be with him. Zelmiun. Even though from all the activity that's taking place, it looks like she's interested because she's not jumping down. She's being carried there. Yes, again, Omer Rav Yehuda afilu hoye orchim mesubim beis bali. Hear this? They're orchim, the guests. She's acting like the hostess. She's married to this like Basilo. She's acting like the hostess. She says to the guest, you know something, I have no interest in being with my husband. She's behaving like the hostess of the husband. And she says to the guest while she's waiting, you know, I have no interest in my husband any longer. Hurry meal. That's enough. It's over. The marriage is over. She makes that kind of comment. Yes, Al Kain Omar Rav Yehuda. No, he says, Omer Rav Yehuda. Omer Rav Yehuda. You don't correct anything. It's the Bach. Omer Rav Yehuda afilu shigra ba'alo etzel chenvoni. You this? Lahavi lo chayfetz mishalo. The husband sends the wife as an agent to pick up something from the storekeeper. Right? V'omra efshi beploni ba'al. And she says to the storekeeper, I'm here for my husband. I have no interest in my husband. She says this to the storekeeper. She said clearly, I have no interest in being with him. Ein lucha mi in godel bizeh. Rav Chanina Mentignos Omer Kol Tinokus. Omer Rav Yehuda Mishmuel Halochuk Rabbi Chanina ben Antignos. Rav Chanina ben Antignos says that if she's so immature, she doesn't even recognize she's a married woman, it's nothing. Tano Ketano Shlomiano V'omdo V'nisas. A Ketano who didn't walk out and she allowed herself to be fully married. And she married a second man. You hear this? She never said, I refuse to be with the first husband. She went and accepted marriage from the second husband. What does that say? Normally it'd say it's adultery, but in this context, it's miyun. What about there was only kedushin? She didn't accept nesuin from the second one, but she accepted a ring from the second husband. You know, to go to a chuppah with another person is the the full deal. But let's say she just took a ring from the second one. Toshma, Ketano, Shlomiano, V'omdav Niskacho, and she only received Kedushin. Bishum Rabbi Yehuda say, Romru Kedusha, hey name me now, so it's explicit. Even Kedushin is enough. She never said she didn't want to be with the husband, the first husband, but she accepted a ring from a second man. That's saying, basically, I'm out of the first marriage. Iboilo, Pligi Rabbona Led Rabbi Yehuda Meseiro, although are the Chacham arguing. Do you have to actually verbalize, I don't want to be with the first husband? Oh, no, that's enough. Im tipstal pligi b'kedushin or afil ben nesuin. Are they only arguing only kedushin or even nesuin? Im tipstal pligi afil ben nesuin halacha kamoso. Do we rule like Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseiro? Oh, ain't halacha kamoso. Im tipstal halacha kamoso. And if we do rule like Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseiro, ben nesuin afil b'kedushin. These are all the questions we're asking. To be continued.